On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, our final thoughts on Chaldea Summer Adventure, our banner results, and more. Also, hey, is Ordeal Call 2 right around the corner? Question mark? Bet you weren't thinking about that. Hello, I'm one of your hosts, mass-produced Omega. With me, as always, is Egg Lucky.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka random history facts thrown together. And while we here at Studio Make like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for the JP&E version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should just fall into depravity. Read as Spoil Comma.
Sorry, I accidentally slapped my mic arm in the middle of that. Blah! Sorry, my sinus isn't tickly. Alright, okay, hi, how you doing? It's Let's Talk FGO. It's summer, kind of. Actually, I don't know. When is actually the first day of fall?
Usually it's the 21st to 23rd of September.
Yeah, okay, we're still going. It's fine. Everything's fine. But
I know this because I always plan a fucking it's fall celebration with fucking like apple cider and pumpkin pie because I love fucking fall. It's great.
Hey, this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam Hart, Black Stogie, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, Ferris, Face Iceberg, Jeremy Vasquez, Judy Fee, 9000, Just the Phage, Sandoval, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenya, Program Sharver, Sean Pryor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. If you like me to do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies. And everybody helps us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
But yes, we're here. We've got all the things that you want to know about, but also probably some things you maybe don't want to know about. I don't know. Anyway, let us keep rolling on down our regularly scheduled programming. That means it's time to check in with everybody's favorite kohai.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai Pro Tips. Not sure why I had a slight voice crack on saying MASH there. I'm also thinking that at some point, sometime, I should probably just freak everybody out by, like, hitting the BB channel instead as an intro. You know, just put the fear of God in everybody. But anyway, it's a regular segment for Pro Tips. Just have a small one to let you know and remind you. Each chest is exactly 100 treasure points, each singular chest that you open. So make sure to budget your time accordingly. You got like 12 and a half days, 12 and a third days, whatever. 358 days over 2. No, never that. But yeah, so just if you're trying to finish out that ladder, keep that in mind. You can hear more about treasure points when we get to our thoughts on the event later. Which means it's time to move on to the one you're all anticipating, Records to the Throne, a regular achievement topic, where we talk about roles and stuff. Alrighty, so for me's, we had about 200 sync quartz, spent basically all of it, managed to score lost it for a second there. Managed to score a single copy of Summer Kama and a Summer Canis. If you want to hear how those rolls went, check out the last, 10-20 minutes of this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream, because we was live when the banner dropped. Also, yes, Kama did come on the very last 10 rolls, so you should, think about that one. We've protected Kama's Smile and also got Summer Davinci Smile protected. Canis and Anastasia are still back in the wings because, boy, need a lot of EXPs during this event.
Oh, sorry, I had to look away for a second. What was the last thing said?
I was just finishing up with my smiles.
Ah, right then. That's what I thought. So, for me, as I said, I did get minimum MP2 Summer Kama. I went for MP3. I was able to snag her. And she is already level 100, 10, 10, 10. Already. I was ready and waiting for that. Just buttons were pressed at alarming speed. But along the way, I also got an MP4 Jack and MP3 Scheherazade, for some odd reason. I was quite upset. Scheherazade was Rainbow Sparks. I got excited. Actually, I don't want to say anything else. Shez is alright.
It's funny how it works, because my Kama appeared on a no spark, just flip a gold card kind of a roll.
So, completing the list here, did get an MP2 Canis and MP4 Summer Say. Both Smiles protected. I also did get my permanent Summer Vinci, NP5, and Smile protected. No, guys, NP3. My original was NP2. But I saw other people getting more MPs, and I was like, I will not be outdone. Lucky was still outdone, because someone I saw in the roll thread had MP5 comm, and I'm just all like,
Well, some people just keep spending money.
I wanted to keep spending money, but even I know my limits.
Also, I should specify, in addition to the Smile Protected, yes, I did actually we're going to be talking about the conclusion of the main event story. Yes, I did actually get my permanent Da Vinci as well. I only have the NP one, though, because I finished the epilogue literally like 10 minutes before we started recording.
Tyranno just causing me emotional damage here. And Rogue Robyn. Listen, if you got more than NP3, you're going to cause me emotional damage if you mention it. Just saying.
Robyn pre-damaged himself. Pre-stabbed his wallet. But yes, that's our Chivos. Time to roll then to Not All the World's Evil. So obviously for me, hey, guess what? We've whiffed Summer Say so far, who does not get the bonus rate up. Curse you, Summer. Again, with the 4 stars. What is this shit?
Right, Chris did make me do a head snap during the stream, but I can't remember what you did. I think you just got, like, comma, like, super fucking fast.
Yeah, I think you got comma before you got comma.
Yeah, and I was just all like...
as evidenced by the thing with the Jack and the Scheherazade, you got a couple of SSRs deep before the comma happened. But also then I think you weren't, like, super damaged to that, because I believe Kristart was telling you about the extra Jacks he got on his previous rolling.
Yeah.
Fate was just evening out. But yeah, so no say so far. The banner will still be up, though, when I get my weekly ticket, and I had 9 tickets, so we'll get another, like, double ticket spin at least. So we'll see what happens. I'm honestly, I might try for, like, Jacques de Molay, even though I don't necessarily need more foreigners. But I think I'm honestly probably pretty set to not roll for, like, the rest of the year. I've made it, guys. We're through. We're out of the hole. The only thing I think I've seriously suffered on was Oberon. Rip me.
I still don't know. I do want a Jacques de Molay, and I do want a Lancer Roma and an Okinu. Ugh.
Well, I probably should. Yeah, I shouldn't commit that I won't make at least some level of effort for Lancer Ryoma. If I don't have anything else to roll, you might as well spend the same courts, you know?
But no, like, those are still up in the air, and it is time for hard saving for Coin Sky of Darkness coming this New Year's, because I'm gonna grab this camera and make it face me here for a second. Between this and Nikkei, I'll probably talk a little bit about this tomorrow. I spent way too much money. Like, over $800. Probably over $1,000. I don't actually want to think about that, though.
I had that. You gave me, like, one of those comparison thoughts, like, to not say what I was actually thinking of, but an example I heard from someone else is basically, like, if you need to figure out, like, currency conversions, like, figure out whatever the local price for, like, a normal-ass sandwich is to put all your charges in perspective. I just had that moment for me, and then I was like, no, don't say that out loud. Comparing how much Lucky is spending to things I've spent money on recently. I'm like, no, don't say that. Yes, no, 0 days since Lucky burned his Soulfire.
No, like, it was going, like, pretty okay. Like, I was, well, actually, no, it was a lie. It was not going okay. I was in my 4th 90 pack before I got my first comma. Oh, God. Yeah, no. So Lucky's gotta go, Lucky's gonna go see if he can do overtime at work at all. Hey, can I stay longer? Like, are we doing overtime?
See, Robyn did it the other way around. He got the overtime in before, and now he's used it all up. Yeah. Shit's wacky. It's wild.
Yeah, so we're back into saving mode now, and like I said, there are things that I do want coming up this Halloween. Like, I would like a chance to MLB my I can't remember the Halloween scene is, but it's like Little Petite Devil or something. It's the alias CE that gives you
Petite Devil.
Yeah, Petite Devil. I do want to get Jacques de Molay, and I like, again, it's probably like, I do believe Lancer Roma gets another rate up later, but I don't know if
he
got
should.
Another one.
He seems popular. I don't know. I mean, as I've said, I will talk about when we get to news. This year, I feel like Lasengel is, like, determined to make up for the fact that there's no more guaranteed reruns by just giving every single fucking limited servant a rate up this year. So, like, I'm sure she'll get another one if she hasn't already, but that you can't really count on those being timely, you know? It's weird. But yeah, okay. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But let's see. Yeah, actually, when does... Hold on, let me double check. When does the actual event end, right? It's like the 20-something? We had this discussion. Several people in the comments, by the way, thank you for leaving those comments and actually saying, even though I think I got it answered like right away live, but yeah, several people said that technically the event will still be going on International Talk Like a Pirate Day, which is very funny. But I think there's like a week-long interlude campaign we have to look forward to, and then I think October is just going to be fucking blocked up, oops, all Halloween, because we've got to do the Halloween trilogy and the comeback campaign, and then the actual new Halloween. So that'll probably be the whole month. And we are still getting a Guda Guda Yamatai Koku rerun and the new Guda go to event Close Call. So that's gonna block up all of November, and then December should be blocked up with another interlude campaign, a new Christmas for Martha, and then Tunguska. So we're all pretty blocked in. Ooh. And then in January, advanced quests start. Also, Ren's rerun with Hephaestion added. Gonna have to work on that one, given my role with SRs. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Hey, if you want to know more about Lucky's Nikkei stuff, and maybe some other stuff we've got to talk about, tune in for What's Up, live the same day that Let's Take FGO goes public to people on YouTube. We'll talk about stuff and things. Ow. Bumped my finger. Okay, alright. Our next segment is, did you finish your master missions? You probably did, but to recap, defeat 5 servants, defeat 5 supergiant enemies, defeat 15 wild beast enemies, and then get 50 each, as 3 separate master missions, by the way, 50 each of pirate bandanas, pirate steins, and pirate cutlasses, aka do the event. So, yes, should be fired through all of those in a singular event, and you should be doing fine. That means that we can indeed get to the skeleton grams. So, obviously, we've been talking about it, but just to let you guys remind you about the time frame, Summer Comma banner from the 6th until the 20th. Probably also around Wednesday, you're looking at the Doman banner, the Doman and Colombo banner. So, have fun with that. But, JP's doing stuff. They've actually finished their summer event. It's over. And we're beginning the Ordeal Call campaign, part 2. So starting on the 8th, going until the 30th of September. You know, all Earth, Wind, and Fire style. There's some stuff. First of all, there's some new quests on the Bleached Earth, which are added. New free quests and challenge quests for more, Bleached Earth stuff. Permanently added extra missions to add more class score materials. So these basically are new versions of quests that already exist. They just now added some class score materials. So, like, get so many servants to, like, Final Ascension, have so many servants at certain levels and stuff like that. And they just give you a lot of the materials you need to improve your class score. So keep on improving your class score. There are also limited time master missions to do Bleached Earth quests, which you do have a number of limits per day. But you can get Saint Quartz, 5-star EXPs, and the Star Sand mat you need for class score stuff as well. There's a Adjusts Glasses rotating class double suck period until the 15th. Yes, you heard that right. Different classes shall have different double sucks depending on what day it is. I guess to encourage more class score stuff, but also, man, that's weird. Until the 30th, you're looking at 1/4 AP through Lost Belt 7, not counting side stories, but all the way until the end of Lost Belt 7, you have 1/4 AP, which is nice. They have added 3 separate banners, which will be rotating out, which are Muramasa, Rasputin, and Doman banners. Once again, talking about fucking everybody getting a rate up. And interestingly, by the way, the hunting quests have now ended. The random variants enemies were Shark Pirates or Zaid the Base, aka like normal 100 Hassans. So yeah, interesting. I don't know if that was just like the Shark Pirates were just because of the fact that they were rerunning, the previous summer banners is like a funny thing, or if the Zaid the Base is supposed to be important. But yeah, we're wiggling. Also, yes, the sharks were great. They were a thing. But yeah, so it sounds like the actual next story drop of Ordeal Call will be in the not too distant future. I kind of wouldn't have expected it before December, but maybe they're looking for like a, back half of September, early half of October kind of a thing. Who knows?
I feel that'd be very quick. Like,
it is pretty fast. Paper Moon wasn't that long ago, but they're doing the lead-up campaign, and I believe the way the first Ordeal Call campaign ended was it did, in fact, just go straight into Paper Moon. So yeah, I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled, I guess. Does anybody remember if they said what order we'd be doing these in? Is it going to be the, Lilith-ass looking ass next? I believe Lilith stonks have only gone up since profiles were released. Melusine has a line for a censored servant talking about them being, part demon and she's part fairy and they should get along well. And so I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, okay, I see it. I'm eyeballing it. Okay, so it'll be Cool Old Man next. Well, that might explain why we decided to go with Muramasa, Rasputin, and Doman. But yeah, them's the news.
Alright, well, with them's the news, let's do one last refresh here. Oh, it says 8, but let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right.
It does say 8, but I got a notification for a new one. Weird. YouTube, are
It
you
is
okay?
weird. Never. It's never okay. But with that, let us move right on over to this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. As just mentioned, we have eight lovely submissions, and we're going to get right to them. Starting with the Tyrant King, who has had slightly better luck than his first banner rolls. Question: Hey guys, with the Aniplex Plus going on tomorrow, do you think we'll get announcements on the Mahoyo movie or any other Fate announcements? Also, with the fall season creeping up on us, which anime are you looking forward to? Anyway, that's it for me. Giving good vibes your way. Wah 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 wah. And have a great evening. I feel like the Aniplex, the Aniplex Fest, the Aniplex Plus. There's a lot of Aniplex terms out there. But no, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have some. I wouldn't say necessarily save face, but some Nasu-verse shenaniganery in there. Like, it seems like the place to announce it. Probably not going to announce anything about Strange Fake. Like I said, we just got the Whispers of Dawn and moving into
Yeah, they just said, I believe, during the events that like during anniversary and stuff, the FGO Fez, that they confirmed it would be a full TV season.
So they're probably hard at work at that, but there is the Mahoyo movie, and there is who knows what else they might be working in the wings.
Yeah, was the like Aniplex Plus online thing, was that the same time last year when they announced the Strange Fake simul release as well? Okay.
Yes, even I remember this because they actually had a message from Albert Cow during that.
So yeah. We might get like another reaffirmation, maybe a new trailer that the season is coming out, but I don't expect any hard and fast details. But yeah, probably we're due for more news about Mahoyo. And there was that other project that was tangentially related, the dragon one. The art was by Takeuchi.
Yep.
So I don't think we've heard any more news about that either. So probably see a few of those. I feel like if they were gonna full blown announce like a new FGO animation, they probably would have done that at the FGO Fez. So I don't think we'll see that, but I could be wrong.
As for anime that I am most excited for here, I do believe I mentioned this before, but I can say right off the bat that Ancient Magus Bride, third season 2 will be this fall. I'm excited for that. As well as Dead Mount Death Play, the reverse isekai that I am super hype about, and I wish other people would get more hype about it. God damn it. I know there was a couple more that I was thinking about. I've been trying to catch up on some anime over these past few days. Like, So no Frieren. That one's gonna be good. It's just going to be good. Trust me on that one. Let's see here. Oh, Kanojo Mokanojo got their second season as well. The Saints Powers Omnipotent, also good. Oh, that's right. 100 Kanojo comes out this fall as well. That's super important for reasons. Also, this is also apparently when Fooly Cooly Grunge is supposed to come out.
Well, we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm in love with the Villainous. Like I said, I've been on a Villainous kick for a while. Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess. That one should be pretty funny. Oh, is it something? I can see that. They probably put money into it.
That is a thing that occasionally happens. I think I've talked about this before, but the reason why you probably don't see a lot of like any. The only place you can stream Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is through Cartoon Network / Adult Swim. It's because they partially funded it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Those guys have actually been known to do a little bit of that. Also, by the way, that means that it's not just Netflix that does that.
Yep. Turner's Magic Should Be Special is pretty popular. I have not read it myself, but like I said, it's popular, so that might be good. Pig Liver is something that I only discovered recently, and that might be fun to watch. It seems like one of those more interesting isekai ones. That one's based off a guy who basically just gets turned into a pig and sent to another world. That's it. He's just a pig, and he can only talk to like one person. Things like that have always been more interesting to me than not. Let me see here. Let me scroll through here, see if there's anything else that pops out. No, doesn't really look like it. So no, like I said, I will try and watch more stuff here, but again, things are always fucking.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm not
hard.
Caught up on Ancient Magus Bride, for instance. I need to do that because I really love that show. It's just There's so much shit going on.
And like I said, everything keep getting split across different platforms, and some of them don't have like a PlayStation app, or some of them
Have dog shit PlayStation apps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a real pain in the butt. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff going around, and there's still more other shit. This month, Castlevania Nocturne.
Oh yeah, no, I saw the trailer for that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It looks
It'll be
good.
really interesting because I know the time frame obviously is I think they said the whole series is going to be Rondo plus Symphony of the Night, but obviously they're going to start with Rondo of Blood, which I'm not very familiar with. We're gonna have some fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually kind of glad that it does seem like there was no Alucard hype in the trailers. They're holding that one in, but the animation as always looks fucking rad. So yeah, no, there's always shit going on. Hell, I've even debated like talking about stuff that's out on Netflix. I've even debated watching the Netflix One Piece because people are just saying this is just straight up good, and I'm like, oh, that sounds neat. We recompressed everything.
No, like I've been trying to get caught up on like so much stuff recently. Like I recently watched Helic, which is still airing right now, which is I find good. I'm also watching Villainous to Savior, also good. And I've been trying to catch up on everything like here and there and everything in between. Listen, I cannot consider myself an authority on anime unless I actually watch anime, so otherwise no one's gonna take me seriously. But let us move on from that. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Kilion King, who says, hope you are enjoying the summer story. I'm personally on hold with it because this Labor Day our family lost one of our dogs, so the feeling is raw seeing Da Vinci with a pet dinosaur. I am very sorry for your loss. It always hurts to lose family, no matter whether or not they have fur or not.
Yeah. Our condolences.
But instead of letting the mood be down, let us bring it up and move on to the next one. The next one comes from the Eternal Store, who says, Happy Star Trek Day. Is it Star Trek Day? Hang on.
I guess that would
Star
depend on
Trek
which day. I mean, they said it today, so probably.
Naruhodo. Star Trek Day celebrates the debut of Star Trek, the original series, which premiered on September 8th, 1966. Did it really premiere? Oh, yes, it did.
Oh, yeah, no. The original series is from the 60s, in case you couldn't tell by the miniskirts.
Well, yeah, no, like, I actually thought about the aesthetic. I'm like, wait, no, that is totally the 60s aesthetic. I always forget about that, though. But yes,
classic.
Happy Star Trek Day, everyone. Question, what is a series that you think would make a good parody for FGO? A good series that make a good parody?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, FGO's kind of all over the place with the references. I caught several of the things Blackbeard said this event.
The October Sky Rocket Boy one threw me for a loop.
Yeah, that was an odd one. I'm pretty sure there was at least one JoJo reference in there.
Mm-hmm.
And several other interesting asides.
Unfortunately, I don't think I necessarily have a good answer for this one, so I'm just gonna have to hand wave it and throw up my hand and say, "Live long and prosper, my dude."
I can actually do the Vulcan hand thing. I had to practice that as a child. Well, I didn't have to, but I felt like it.
It's not that hard.
No, but I bet there are going to be people in the comments who are like, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like every time I say I can whistle or snap. Also, well, dampening should catch that. But if that snap is very loud, I apologize. I should be careful about making very loud clicky sounds into the mic. It was for like very infinitely small amount of time, but the sound was very maxed out. So hopefully, Audacity catches that. God, sorry, I'm just watching this gif of Kirk being obliterated by tribbles forever. And I feel like Shatner probably is actually that exasperated to just because this is the 60s, so in that like crawl space with that hatch, there's a fucking production assistant with just a basket full of these fuckers just hurling them down at him.
But let's keep moving.
Yep.
So this next one comes from Dave, Hidden in Humidity.
Ah, yes, my favorite ninja village, the village hidden in the humidity.
Is that accurate, Architect? Did they actually miss the signal to stop throwing them?
I would not be shocked. Like, that's the thing about Star Trek being so old is it's full of these weird little production notes. I think all the way up to like recent series, they have some of these weird notes and production tiffs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great. But Dave says, seems like a trend now that summer events will have a new NPC pop up in them. Gareth, oh man, me and my inability to know how to pronounce Chinese. Is it Jufu?
Yeah, it's more of a
Shufu. And now Chris. Would you want Chris to be playable?
Honestly, I do not even know how the fuck that would work. maybe more of that discussion will come in the free play. I mean, I know that the artist went absolutely ham, so I'm sure they've got the assets for it. It's like a 2-star. I mean, I guess that's kind of the cameo rate we did for Gareth. So, alright, sure. Can we take away stars? Yes, absolutely. He's our next 0-star unit.
I mean, personally, I can live without him.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, obviously, as usual, no offense to the artist, they did a bang-up job doing those designs, and I think that's another case where the artist just did a weird mock-up of Columbus Lily, and then the FGO team was like, I'll take it, print it, ship it.
Yeah, honestly, now that the design, well, I'm not saying it's bad, it is very jarring against the backgrounds.
Oh yeah, I don't remember their name off the top of my head, but that artist is one of those that has like a very distinct style with like line work and brush work, for lack of a better term. Like, it's very, very visually distinct. It's kind of like a little bit like what is it, Toasuma, who did like Astrea and like Chichiwang, right? Where like you see them in the background and you're like, okay, you really pop. You got a very distinct style here. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna bang down any doors for that one.
Now, if he shows up, cool. If he doesn't, also cool. But with that, let's move on to the next one. The next one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, Dear Lucky and Mega, no question this week. Just sending good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. And wishing you well. Keep up the great work. No, you. You keep up the great work. Being you. And being great.
Yeah.
Moving on down. There's a read more to this.
I'm trying to parse this.
Well, I'll read it out loud. So, this one comes from Cal Carnton Cambrian. I do love the alliteration. They say, Hello, Studio Mega. I'm still reeling from my wall being more slain than I hoped, and hope you're doing better, or at least coping better than I ever could. I mean, I know who you are. I'm always coping better than you ever could.
I am the cope.
So recently there has been some drama about someone making a big diss piece on a game, and most people have an issue with their opinion, as in hindsight it has been obvious this person was prepositioned to give something a hard time and not actually put in the effort to learn. I personally agree with that sentiment, and I find it arrogant for someone to just have... I just find it arrogant for someone to just have them confirm their own bad opinions without actually trying to learn something. How do you guys handle people who are stubbornly trying to push something for content instead of putting in the time and or effort to learn something? Mega might have the context of this whole situation to clarify some things. But regardless of you answering the question, good vibes all around. Wah, 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 wah. And I hope you have a good time looting chests.
Oh, I do.
Listen.
Those are good chests.
Everyone loves a lot of chests, especially when they're big chests. Everyone loves big chests.
Also, to completely ruin Lucky's joke, I also love when chests are filled with bones.
You are ruining my joke.
But the audience will also appreciate bones, Lucky. God, so many bones. Why do servants still need so many bones? Yeah, so I think I got this a lot better with the extra note to me. Because the unfortunate nature of the internet and the content machine is that this could be a question about literally anything, right?
I think I know what they're talking, because I think this was mentioned before, but I haven't actually seen the vid that I think is the problem. And I do have my own thoughts on it, but I'm sorry, Mega, you finish your thought though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, unfortunately, as you're saying here, this could be anybody, because there's so many people out there that are like this. And I don't want to necessarily fire shots unnecessarily without, like, getting into the whole of all these videos, but, like, I feel like this is a complaint I feel leveled at, what's that one guy? Dunkey a lot? I think that's the guy who, like, the big one I think did a video about, Xenoblade, where, like, it's very clear that he just doesn't like that kind of game, but he says that his videos are parody, so he just, tries to get away with a lot of bad faith criticism.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of videos that are like that. I mean, the main thing to do is, especially if they are actually literally doing it for quote-unquote the content, right? Ignore them. Hide the feeds. Mute them, block them, whatever. Move on. Your attention is what those people are after, whether it's like clickbait or deep dives or whatever, and if you don't think they got anything interesting to actually say on this, you just close the window and move on. I understand that a lot of us out there are going to feel eager to, like, pick fights over the shit we love, but that kind of engagement is what they're farming. Especially if they, like, genuinely don't give a shit. Like, they're not trying to learn or develop a theory or anything. They're just here to pot stir.
Yeah. Like I said, Like, actually, I guess reading what the person just said here, it's like, no, apparently I didn't know, but I have seen several videos in this exact fucking same vein in the past week. Like, I was scrolling through my newsfeed in bed yesterday, and I came across a article about how the Cyberpunk 2077 level designer dunked on a video who was doing a comparison between Cyberpunk and Starfield um and how Cyberpunk's level design was better. And the guy was just all like, "What the fuck is this? Like, why do you guys have to be so negative?" It's like, as being someone who has literally seen every single one of these Argos just thrown in his face, this does nothing. This doesn't actually serve any purpose.
And
Like,
that's interesting to hear from that guy. I mean, I think it's just got to do with like different design states. Like, this is actually to briefly tangent to Starfield. This is the thing I saw several people talking about. Starfield's much like Skyrim, trying to get that procedurally generated content so you can play it forever kind of a thing going on. And I've heard a lot of people saying that, like, okay, it's cool to have stuff you can do forever, but it feels very like empty and kind of like shallow. And the argument I saw and that I agree with is just like, yeah, it turns out bespoke content that is created specifically for you to engage with like once in a particular fashion is better, which is actually how Cyberpunk does all of its like gigs and actual missions, right? Like all of them are assigned to actual areas you go that have certain things in that specific spot for you to do, you know? So they are planning on adding like infinitely loopable content with the new new expansion, but still, like, there's a lot going on. Yeah, and I'm glad that the developer straight up was like, that's just an unfair comparison to make, because those two games are doing completely different things. And as a person who has probably as many hours in Skyrim as I do in Cyberpunk for vastly different reasons, I would want to throw any shit at Starfield at this stage, you know? Like, different games do different things, but yeah. There's going to be a lot of this, like, bad faith criticism because people are out there for the swing and the miss. And just the best thing to do is just be like, no, I don't want to watch that and move on. You may have been thinking about the FF14 thing I brought up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where I watched about 5 minutes of that video. I realized I was not going to agree with this opinion. I closed that video, removed it from my history, and I'm just like, nope, I don't need to see anymore. We are done here. I'm donezo.
Sorry, there is audio involved with this. Hang on, I gotta go change my wallpaper because Legendary is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legendary is
also,
correct.
yes, to answer somebody in the patron chat asked this question, all of our patrons can view the patron chat, but if you are gold or higher, you can listen live. I mean, if to answer the second question there, sorry, I'm getting multiple nested questions. The first question is, no, you didn't have to be more specific. Actually, like, mentioning it to me let me go, like, okay, yeah, no, I got this. All right, I understand what this is about. But that also worked as a great talking point to be like, hey, guess what? This is a recurring problem. You're going to see this for a lot of games, you know?
Yeah.
But the second question there is saying people compare to ask if Skyrim has procedurally generated content. Yes. Radial quests are procedural. There are Skyrim technically has quote unquote infinite content. If you just keep asking, you know, like innkeepers for work or your jarls for work or stuff, or just wander around, you will find content that just generates itself to do stuff. It'll even, like, I think, reset some dungeons and stuff you've cleared. So yeah, no, there is technically like procedurally generated content. It's just kind of like randomly picks a place, randomly fills it with the appropriate levels of enemy, you know. It's a short procedure, but I think it is technically procedurally generated. But yeah, no. So this is this was not intended as a directly Fate related question, but I think it's definitely applies to a lot of Fate stuff. If you see somebody with an opinion that you disagree with, but you don't think is worth like engaging over, just close it up and move on. Obviously, while I would prefer your views, if you don't like what we have to say, feel free to just, you know, close us up and move on too. I'm not here to fight people in the comments, actually.
We don't get a lot of fighters in our comment section, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think it's just because we've been here so long. Like, we're not huge enough where people just hate us on principle yet, but, like, we've had some haters in the comments before, but I think most of them just kind of, like, you know, get exhausted and go back to not being here. And I've gotten constructive criticism before. Somebody... I mean, it was a little backhanded, but I still remember somebody wrote a comment on a Wanted about, like, telling me to, like, up my game and get tighter scripts and stuff, but they prefaced it with like, I bet you don't read these comments, and I'm like, no, actually I do read the comments, and I'm that person challenged me to do better, and I do. We're working, but all right, okay, got some length out of that one.
Yeah. I think you hit all the points I wanted to, really, so we'll just move right on. The next one comes from alias Zed, being a gremlin. But they say, comment, hey, Lucky Omega, how are you doing? I'm doing great and hope you're doing well as well. Records from the Throne, all summer waifus have been summoned and accounted for this year on NA, with a shout out to the 8 Sei Shonagons I got on my rolls. Here is some good vibes. Wah 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 wah. I have excess at the moment, so I'm sending more than usual. Oh, well, wah 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 wah. Double good vibes. Sorry, I had to pop one of my fingers there real quick. It was giving me the agita. This next one comes from... this last one comes from Soul of the Light Mode Discord, who says, Dear Handler Omega and Augmented Human LUCK33. Actually, can I get a Walter voice? How does Walter sound? He's like, down here. Augmented Human LUCK33. Nah, it's not I need it smoother. Walter's more smooth than that.
33. I need you to go out for milk. You're gonna have to run to the convenience store. There's some MTs along the way, but it won't be any problem for you, right? Get to work, 33.
Get to work, 33. But they say, it's a bit off topic, but as I think I at least saw Lucky playing, how are you keeping up with Armored Core? Having fun? Getting a filter? Too busy to touch it? Do you even care when comma is right there? Good vibes and all. Daka daka daka. I need a daka sound. I need a gunshot sound because we have no gunfire. I definitely need some. I definitely need some automatic
I don't know. There's
fire.
a couple choices we could go there. I could probably find the clip from Dragon Ball Z Abridged where Vegeta is literally shouting Daka Daka. But also the Daka sound I most know from actually 40k memes. So there's a shitload of Warhammer 40k video games I could isolate some bolter sounds from. Usually very satisfying. As for Armored Core, where are you at in Armored Core, Lucky?
Oh man, I still haven't gone further than Balteus. That because the immediate story mission you get has another boss in it, and I haven't perfected my style, so I've mostly been running around. I got fucking S on a few missions just because I'm like grind.
Yeah, I still haven't beat Balteus. I wouldn't say I'm being filtered because I'm not really putting in the work either. It's just like trying to make sure I'm doing the FGO event, keep caught up on several things of like work over here. Also, hey, spoilers for the What's Up Later. Sea of Stars, really easy to play. Been catching a couple hours of that here and there. I'm like 6 hours in now, or 7 actually, probably with today.
Like, I haven't given up on Armored Core, but Blue Archive has been having their grand finale. Nikkei has their Nier collab going on. FGO, we've been doing summer. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis has come out.
Yeah, I want to get.
I've been playing that.
Yeah, Lucky's already been playing, and I'm hoping to be able to get in.
Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to get caught up on anime. And with Final Fantasy VII, and I've gotten a little bit of 7 Days to Die in there. Like, I really haven't like touched my PS5 much. It's also the problem, like I've talked about, like my controllers being fucking wonky.
That would not be helpful, for Armored Core.
Yeah. Because unlike some games, Armored Core does not have a nifty feature that if your controller dies, the game pauses. You just stop moving.
Oof.
And let me tell you, stop moving in Armored Core, you die.
Yeah.
You just die.
Like, I just need the time to do the reps, but I mean, if you want me to make my, slight aside of I think, constructive criticism, it's almost like FromSoft's games are not easy to like pick up and play in the modern market. You have to dedicate serious time to them, which, means that their overall time frame of getting me to get playtime and be interested in, future DLC shit, which by the way does seem to be planned. People have data mined the game, and it seems like instead of doing like a separate sequel game with the same engine, they're just going to release like a bonus DLC. Which is kind of a shame that, again, that they put like Balteus and some of these other walls in there when the game, you're literally supposed to beat the game like 3 times. At least you get to fucking clown on Balteus when you get to like New Game Plus and stuff. But yeah, it's just a little awkward, just a little time consuming. Because God, there's so much shit. Fucking this month is Phantom Liberty, guys. I'm gonna have a 3rd year in a row where Cyberpunk is like my top played PS5 game. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna clock another 150 hours.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to pre-order Enter Nights as well.
Yeah, that's probably not a pre-order for me, but that is a game I'm watching.
Yeah,
It
no.
looks good.
The dev had a AMA and actually asked him if you can actually got a question in there. Asked if I could date multiple people, and it's all like, and if there's bad consequences, he's like, there are consequences, but I'm not gonna say what they are. I'm just like,
Hey, where? Keep an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samurai Remnants at the end.
yeah. And then like, oh god, it's not gonna stop because October we got Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2. Just those 2 games, I'm pretty sure is gonna take up my entire month.
Yeah.
Oh.
Though with Alan Wake 2, at least we can use the excuse of doing a streaming.
Yeah, I apologize for anyone waiting for the Hollow Knight stream. I decided to call an audible because it was Labor Day and I at least wanted to have something off.
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't fight Lucky on it. Lucky's like, it's Labor Day. Can we take a day off? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? We never do that. Fuck it, why not? But yeah, Samurai Remnant is also soon.
Soon.
So, yeah,
Anywhere back from
no, I not that I know if I would be supposed to say anything at this stage, but also no, I have not yet gotten any word back about a possible press copy. I don't know when those would be being distributed, but we're in a pool. Hopefully, we are at least considered. Because boy, howdy, we got a lot of content.
So probably this weekend. I'm like, again, Sea of Stars. I also want to get into. I'm just having a hard time.
That one.
I'm just having a hard moment because I got a little irritated. I guess I'll tell about it here. Like, what's the mission clock at?
Oh, we are fine, buddy. We are at 52 minutes. As the kids these days say, go off, King.
But I was playing the demo of Sea of Stars, and while I wasn't enjoying it, they got to this story place where I think, oh god, I don't know what the call the term is, where they basically, I'm trying to think of the best term for this. Basically, they do something stupid in order to make the story go longer. I think is the term is. Because basically you're trying to get to some place as quick as you can. And so you find a person that can take you to the place that you need to go, but they'll only take you if you can beat them in a contest. And in the contest it is, and if you don't beat the contest, you have to go do a favor for them first. So you'll go either way.
Hey,
so
lucky, guess what? Where I just am in the actual game.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have 3 people. 2 of them, super fucking strong. Third one, not so much, but they're a good guy. I like them. They're alright. They're good peeps. But they end up, it's an arm wrestling contest. And they say, if you guys do it, it won't be a fair match. So he goes up. Guess what? It's not a fair match because the other people fucking cheat and use a magic shirt to just completely obliterate. So instead of fucking and so instead of, prioritizing your fucking quest, you let this guy just get one over and you're forced to do this favor. What if you had just fucking used your strong people from the outset, you would not have to do this fucking favor. Now, I understand people probably all have their own stories and whatnot, but it's always things like this. Yes, we're on a dire mission, but we're on a dire mission needs our immediate, we can't take any detours. Let's make a decision that, ensures that we'll have to take a fucking detour. I'm just like, ugh. And that put me off the game a little bit.
I mean, it didn't put me off, but I did definitely feel like we should have had some more kickback on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there are times where the game is like very self-aware. Prior to that, as you're trying to get roped into that, the fucking first mate of that group is like goes on a fucking ramble about blacksmith upgrades. You get further and further upgrades as you keep going north. And there's a guy living in a shack, despite the fact that he charges you 25k gold per dagger, and the characters are just like standing there with ellipses, just like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, no, I think I think the general tone of the game is light enough they can get away with like a shim sham like that. It's still kind of fucking annoying. I do hope that like the next further story beat explains maybe why it was so important, because it sounds like the way it's pitched is like they couldn't have taken us anywhere anyway unless we agreed to the thing. But they didn't just say that, which fucking sucks and is annoying.
Yeah.
And nobody likes this kind of writing. It just makes you annoyed at people. But, we'll see how it goes.
Like, yeah, if it all comes together later, sure, that's great. But that's later. I'm talking about my feelings right now.
Yeah.
Do not try and trivialize my now feelings because, it all works out later. Like, no. Feelings now. Not feelings later, feelings now.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, and it's a shame too because those guys seem like fun, but also they did.
I mean, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I'm like I said, I don't hate the characters. I'm just like, why do we have to do this?
I feel like there would have. I mean, and like I said, I don't know if part of it is trying to be self-aware about stuff. It seems like we probably could have just done this in a different order.
Yeah,
it's fine. You got to go to a place, beat up some more guys.
Like if they just said, "Oh, we can do this for you, but we're not going to go anywhere until we get this thing." They didn't have to make an actual fucking contest.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's like he's blocking away. What I was gonna say was that the alternative there is also like we're getting on this boat. We need to go this place to travel this conveyance, and it's just like they haven't actually asked me for payment. They could have just said, "Hey, we'll take you, but you got to go on the thing."
Yeah.
I feel like there's some weird predestination stuff. Well, I mean, it was all a cutscene, so I don't know if it was really a fake chance of success. I was just wondering how this would go awry because I, the reader, knew that they would. It's very obvious you're gonna go do the thing anyway. I mean, you would have gone to the tavern anyway. It's an inn,
but
you can rest there.
that's like I said. Like I have started up the game. It is like I do have a save file. I'm still in the opening bits, and I'm just like. Just thinking about that scene coming up just makes me not want to experience it again. So I'm just like,
well, I mean, you got like, for me anyway, you got like 6 hours before you get there.
Yeah, I'll probably put in some time tonight. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like I know it's a good game. It's just like I said, I'm that kind of person. If there's if there's a moment that I don't like, I have to put it down and just kind of gripe about it for a little bit before I can get back into it.
Yeah,
like I do this with books too. Actually, I've been reading because Lucky is a master of faffing. Because I had this actually happen with a book I was reading, an audiobook. In fact, it was called The Village of Noobtown, the second book in the series Noobtown, a lit RPG series by I can't remember the author name right now.
People have a title; they can fucking look it up.
But at one point, the main character, named Jim, learns magic that he gets locked into. Once he learns his magic, he cannot learn any other magic until innocence. And he learns what is known as biological aeromancy. I want you to parse that one for 5 seconds. And tell me what you think it is.
I have a slightly exasperated thought. Axe is too pure.
Axe is too pure. It's fart magic.
Yeah, I'm about to say, is it fart magic? Is it the magic of farts?
Magic.
Okay, alright. I don't know if we've earned that one. I know nothing about this book series, and I'm already like, I don't know if we've earned that one, Chief.
And the way that they do it is another one of those things. I'm just like instigate where they obviously had to make the character be a little extra dumb in order to make it work, and I'm just all like, So, but like I said, I got back to it after a while, but it's still been slow going. It's just one of those things of like, really? Everything's going so well, and then all of a sudden, someone drinks their stupid juice and decides to make a world-shattering decision. I'm just like, why?
Yeah, this is why TV Tropes has the idiot ball trope name.
And of course, like I was talking to some people who have read ahead. It's like, oh no, it all comes together. I'm all like, okay, cool, it all comes together later. But what about my feelings now? It's like, they said they're all saying that it's like you have to get to book 4 before it really gets good. I'm all like, okay, that's fair. And we use that moment to talk about how Jim Butcher's Dresden books, the first 2, ain't that great.
Yeah, literally, Jim tells you not to read the first 2.
Yeah, so
they were like college writing projects that just happened to get published. He didn't get a real editor until 3. Actually, I think technically he says that he didn't get a real editor until he was part of the way through the manuscript for 3. So like, it's rough. And I know that's weird to say that you can skip the first couple books in a fucking 16-book series or whatever, but yeah. Also, I'm just thinking of all the fucking memes I heard before I got into Final Fantasy 14 of just like, dude, just wait till Heaven's Word. That's also a bit in Plain's video about Black Mage. Oh, it gets better at 50, 60, 70. Yes, generally classes do get better as you get higher levels of them. That's kind of the point.
I guess that's true. But the thing about things getting better is you can still be competent at those levels with the tools you have. Because usually everyone is at the same level that you are.
Yeah, and also usually, like, in general, in terms of, like, writing stuff, like, obviously, some stories are, and, Lucky yourself, you have talked about being more interested in slow burn these days. But
yeah.
Some stories are designed to be on even keel and build to something. We're talking about an intentional choice to, like, start smaller, ratchet up, as opposed to, starting lower, starting maybe a little looser, a little more juvenile, and then tightening up. And, like, sometimes it's worth going through the extra effort, sometimes it's not. Other stuff is kind of like, even keel all the time. Like, I would say that, for instance, the whole Daidoji Shin series, which is 4 books deep now. That's all. Like, those are all, they do reference earlier cases in later novels, but all of those are basically like self-contained episodes, right? So all of it stays at about the same level. And then you got weird shit like the Locked Tomb, where every book is somehow different and new and weird. And I don't know how Tamsin Weird did this.
Tamsin Weird is an internet gremlin.
Well, that's true, yes. But yeah, no, there's all kinds of, oddball stuff out there. It really depends on how you're firing those things. Joke's on you. Wow, actually, I need to catch up on Hildebrand sometime. I think some of the guys said it would probably be okay to do the Heavensward Hildebrand stuff off stream. I would just do that when I feel like it sometime. The good old grind. Also, by the way, I know we don't normally do that, but you should refresh the mailbag one more time.
All right, fine. Yay! Well, it turns out we got one more mailbag. This one comes from Agent 418, who says, "Hello, Loki and Omega. Have a good weekend, y'all. P.S. BB channel intro for the Wake the Fuck Up Senpai is a great idea. Tyranny face.
There's real time bending shit here.
Yeah, nice.
Also, by the way, I'm pretty sure that was response 9, and YouTube still says 8.
Breaking the algorithm.
Stuck in the time warp. But we added like 10 minutes of diversion there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, rolling out all my bonies, my spinies. Now, it does mean though that mailbag is done. It's probably time to move into free talk.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be final thoughts ? On Kaguya Summer Adventure. I know there's an epilogue. I haven't done it yet. I can see a class icon and have a pretty good idea where it's going.
Kamata.
In general, this is a pretty good event. I think. Well, the story is very good. The actual mechanics are kind of inoffensive to a little grindy. I was thinking about bringing this up earlier when I talked about the pro tip, but decided to save it for free talk. But I think, Lucky, you said this in our Discord early on, but the fact that every single chest is just 100 points flat,
yes,
is kind of lackluster.
Yep.
It makes the event feel very grindy. Like, today's Friday, right? I've literally just finished the actual epilogue of the event, got my permanent grail in Da Vinci. I think that stuff was technically accessible, like, reset Wednesday night. And I've just had this slog. I mean, I stopped for, like, an hour, maybe an hour and a half to just farm a shitload of EXPs for 4, because, hey, spoilers, Summer is a great unit to farm this event for, because she's the actual, like, one of our few servants who's actually fucking AoE.
Explosion.
So, like, that's nice. But there were times when I was legitimately bogged down by, like, oh, okay, we're past the time gate. I need another, like, 2k points, so I need another 20 treasure chests to actually get to the next main story quest. Obviously, they didn't end up rerunning this event, which I feel is very funny, because in the epilogue there is a note about a revival. There's a joke about it, and I'm kind of like, ooh, that one didn't age so well. But, like, if it had been like bronze chests were 100, silver was 200, gold was 300 or something, I feel like that would, like, scale up your progression in the ladder very well, because it's a little clunky. Not that I mind opening lots of treasure chests, because they've all got good shit in them. It's just, it took me a while to max ascension my Da Vinci. It's taking me a while to work through the thing. I don't even think I'm at the level where I still need like one more copy of the damage CE,
Oh, I was fortunate. I was able to get a drop on that, so I didn't have to go to 70 fucking K for it. Like, you guys don't understand. That's 70K. That means that's 700 chests. 700!
Now, admittedly, that's 700 chests of any rarity, but, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I still would have liked it to scale. So, like, and we got, like, 12 days left, so it's not, like, a huge problem. It's just, man, I wish they'd rebalance that one a little. I guess this is kind of their first time doing an event like this, where you've got, like, an almost, like, mini lotto that's, like, a currency, right? where each chest contains a random mat item and then also the points and stuff on top of a point ladder on top of a store. But yeah, it's a little odd.
Like, honestly, I think would have been good if they just made it bronzes are 100, silvers are 200, and golds are 300s.
Yeah,
like just
like
that
a ratio I mentioned earlier that would have just been simpler.
Yeah,
because then you could, if you really want to jam points, you can focus on farming the gold chests to go faster. But also the bronze and silver chests have good shit in them. So you need them all. It's just that the point laddering is being uniform is kind of a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
That also might have been an interesting way to do it. Talking about where just like you just get extra points straight up from the treasure chest quests, or maybe even like the little side stories you unlock. Like I feel like those were neat, but the fact that they were just like, oh, you got like 3 extra chests, I'm like, this is not proportional to the amount of work I had to do to get here.
Yar.
So yeah, it's I feel kind of bad that this event so far does not have a proper rerun, because like I feel like they could have, if they like compressed this down to like a 2-week rerun, or like a 2.5 week rerun, they probably could have sped that up a little and made it a little more efficient, more clean. Would have been interesting to see, but now we're here. The other thing that's really interesting though is like this is a dense summer. There's a lot of story. Which again I'm not upset about. It's just that definitely there were times where I'm like, ooh, I have to fucking work through this. I'm sitting in bed and I'm like, whoa, I gotta go to fucking sleep. But we're still only partway through this story node. It's a little spiced. But overall, like story wise, very good. Liked a lot of the stuff we had here. I don't know if we know who wrote this one, but it's kind of interesting to see this story kind of crop up here. One after Lost Belt 6, because like, I mean, and I won't say this isn't kind of a palate cleanser after all that. Like, generally this is pretty positive, but there's still some they still got a few heavy hitters. As I said before, talking about being almost reduced to tears by a tiny dinosaur earlier, like. They've got some real emotional weight in here. They've got some heavy hitters. But it is also kind of interesting. I almost wonder if there's a couple of things I wonder about the general structure of this event, right?
Right.
Number one, I am curious about like where the focus on Little Da Vinci Gran Cavallo came in. Like, was this something the other writers thought of? Because while Da Vinci was a major supporting character in Lost Belt 6, she wasn't really a focal character? Like, Da Vinci is just kind of like one of our rocks, right?
Yeah.
Like, she just out here doing solid work, once again, keeping all the home fires burning. She kind of fits into Mash's role almost in Lost Belt 6, right? Where she is just, once we meet back up with her, she is just here with us, keeping our shit together,
Oh, yeah. It's, like, honestly, Small Da Vinci, like, it's something that I feel like maybe people don't think about, but it does just slot in exactly where regular Da Vinci was back in OG called it, being, brains, beauty, and, just an endless font of positive thinking. Well, maybe not endless font, but usually you feel better after you talk to her.
Yeah, she keeps our original Da Vinci's, like, big upward curve of optimism.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely a little bit of an undercurrent that is a recurring plot point that this Da Vinci is, like, working on limited time.
Yeah, like, it's constantly brought up with Canis calls her little doll, which Da Vinci, surprisingly, does not like being called that.
No. I'm very surprised that Canis doesn't get shot in the shins more. But yeah, so like there's a lot of those little moments. So this whole story being basically about the art of saying goodbye. Like it almost feels like this is the morality play after all of the trauma of Lost Belt 6, right? That's like, listen, hey, you had to say some goodbyes. That's okay. It's the memories that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's temporary kind of a thing. So that was a surprisingly high hitter. But also, I'm wondering if this is the beginning of FGO Story Crew's obsession with dinosaurs. Because this is the last we're going to see of dinosaurs. That's going to come back. And
we're over a year away from LB7, so
yeah, this is we've got the space for it. But yeah, it's very interesting to see that kind of like hit up there and actually get in there. One there are a couple of characters I appreciate being here in that we do not really try to develop their characters at all, and they continue to remain on the same even keel we've known them as. That is Chris Columbus. I like that while they show that the Columbus Lily here, he does have like that childlike innocence to him a little bit.
He's still fucking Columbus.
Yes, no. He also, that means he still has all of his childish selfishness in a way, right? And it feels like the kind of thing they're talking about is that's the part that, like, actual Columbus never grew out of, was that, like, he never really changed as the guy who, wants everything all to himself and will figure out how to, like, do everything to exploit and, be better for him, So there's a lot of, a lot of effort in that, and like I said, I appreciate that. I understand that, like, Columbus's stance as definitely always a bad guy is sometimes a little weird in the context of, like, many of the characters who are also super shitty people.
Mhm.
Like, our version of Bartholomew Roberts' Black Bart gets romanticized a little, though he is also still kind of a weird little freak with his bangs thing. But, like, the actual Black Bart was a hardcore motherfucker. Blackbeard is in a very comfortable space. Axe says this a few times, and I think a couple of other people have said it as well. I feel like they've settled into the writing of Blackbeard as just, like, kind of like FGO has found a way to comfortably encapsulate the way that the real Blackbeard, like the actual real life Edward Teach, was just super extra.
He really was.
Like, you don't, even if you're like an insano murder maniac, you don't put, fuse wicks in your beard as like a normal thing. That's an extra thing. That's the theater talking. So, like, FGO's Blackbeard has just they found a way to spin that comfortably over the several events he's been in, where that's just his thing is just constantly putting people off guard and, like, being weird to them.
Well, also, like, I think they've I think they, like, went a little too hard on the fucking creep factor, like, in his initial things, but they've dialed that back into a more comfortable, just, he's like, into a more comfortable. He's kind of weird, but no one's really put off by him as much.
Yeah, that put off is maybe, like, I think sometimes people are put off. There's several times with this interaction with that one Nemo meme where people are just like, I don't know what's happening here, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but no one's like, all right, we got to go shoot Blackbeard. They just let it happen.
Or when they do, it's because Blackbeard does dig his own grave, like that scene at the end where they do the fucking JoJo meme to him.
Everyone
he's
just
fucking he's fucking bragging to Sieg and Fuma, and then Summer Jolter and Summer Mordred are added for some reason.
Just
because that if they saw Blackbeard getting the shit kicked out of him on the ground, they would be like, the enemy! Kick him. Kick the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, like, he still has those moments where he gets his, but he understands that, he's doing it on purpose.
He is doing it on purpose.
And I want to say, I feel like that's a part 1 FGO problem. The game's gotten a little bit better at this, where, though not always, there are many events have been turned into actually, like, trying to, cycle back around to making I think Canis a little more bearable to people. But, like, Blackbeard had the problem that a lot of antagonists in the first part of FGO have, where just fate usually doesn't pull its punches on antagonists. Like, they're usually bad people who are in your face, in your zone,
Mm-hmm.
And are doing bad things to you. And Blackbeard's kind of in that area. And then you beat him up and you summon him, and you're just like, oh, hey, Blackbeard's here now,
Mm-hmm.
So, like, very rarely do they actually remember that people are that antagonistic. Columbus does stay that way, like, and I think that's a fair idea that, like, especially given the context of Agartha, I don't actually think that the etched version of Columbus in history could be any different than that guy, like. Because the real-life Columbus was a crazy, almost delusional motherfucker. He was like, I can get to India. I can definitely get to India. I'm gonna get to India so hard, I'm gonna go 4 fucking times. Here, you want some fucking gold? Take some gold. I'm Columbus. Like, I think that, like, he can't not be that guy who is, like, colonialism personified, And it's just, it's the kind of look that just doesn't work anymore. There's even that moment where the mass-produced Columbuses are saying something that's censored, which I'm pretty sure is the word slave. But they, like, remark that, like, shit, he must be saying one of the words we can't say anymore. I don't know if that was in the original or not, or that was, like, the NA crew trying to be, like, aware that maybe in America this scene reads a little different. My other example of characters who do not actually fucking change is Doman. Even to the detriment of once again, to his own side, Doman is Doman. He is just here to do Doman things.
Doman got his own comeuppance here.
Well, yeah, that's like, yes, I mean, Doman.
Doman.
Yes, I love the all caps. Yeah, that's the thing about Doman, though, is, like, he's... As a servant, right? As the alter ego of Limbo or whatever, like, Doman is he is the antagonist of a kabuki play, basically, right? Like, he's not actual literal Ashia Doman. He is the
character of Ashia
yes,
Doman.
The arch rival to Abe no Seimei, you know. So of course he's gonna do over the top bullshit and absolutely get his shit slapped in the last act, right? Which led to a quote I wrote about my favorite moment with him, which is, "Oh, Doman of the Sand, what is your wisdom?" Which, and to be fair, Doman does bail you out in that moment. You know, Summer Kama's being a little possessive, being a little forward. You know, she's you know cramping your steez a little bit when you have shit to do. As Gordolf reminds you, you have some reports to write. But he's still, like, it's the fucking a quote that I think came up last week about this series of events, but, like, I think it applies as well. You know, the Jack Sparrow quote, you know, you can always trust a dishonest man to be dishonest. It's an honest man you've got to watch out for. Like, Doman, at least you can always assume Doman will Doman.
Doman will Doman.
That literally happens when he turns Columbus into a fucking giant egg. Which, obviously, I knew somehow that would happen. One, I did the pregame, but also, two, I feel like, especially the way our Discord was set up 2 years ago, it was unavoidable to avoid the weird egg memes. But obviously you have no fucking context for that, right? Like, it's just a giant egg, and then you see it, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? And even after having played it, I still don't he fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Manned him. Choose the form of your destroyer.
I mean, I get it. It's the egg of Columbus. It's like, I think they even mentioned it there. It's like, because Columbus has a strong conceptual tie with eggs. Even if the tale is apocryphal, people still know it as the egg of Columbus.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't notice it until after we actually finished the egg boss fight. But his young Columbus sprite has an egg in it, like he's fucking jiggling. He's juggling. Yep. So yeah, like there's reason for it, but it's still, like, so over the top and out of nowhere.
I will say, though, I didn't know about the egg of Columbus until the fucking 2 years when I said, what is this egg?
Yeah, why is there an egg? Well, it's a reference.
It's a reference.
But yeah, no. And, I mean, we shouldn't be that surprised. This event has a fucking literal dinosaur in it.
Dinosaur.
You know, and I'm not, okay, so let me order my thoughts a little. We're freeballing it. Our notes are very loose here. So, on the one hand, I feel like the way this sort of event is structured, you know, this summer island treasure adventure, you need a MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
You gotta have a thing that people want in the plot for whatever reason, and the whole point of a MacGuffin, classically, as Hitchcock described it, is you don't actually care what it is. So the fact that there is a MacGuffin in the form of Steggy is not that weird. Again, absolutely no idea why it was an actual honest-to-God dinosaur. There are Lost World stories. We do discuss that as a theory for a little bit, you know, and talk about, like, cryptids and stuff. But no, I think it's just, the dinosaur is a metaphor. I think it's just kind of like a really good illustration of, like, the themes and, like, what Chaldea is here to do. This dinosaur, he's really cool, he's cute, he's great. He's not supposed to be here. I'm gonna put the dinosaur back.
Put that thing right where you found it.
So yeah, that's, like, there's a lot of really good stuff here. Obviously, you know, my first note was just excellent showing for Blackbeard. You know, he is our giant rock.
You know, he's actually, you know, very useful. Very big. I always forget this, but that man's huge.
Yeah, I love Well, first of all, that moment in general is great because, the way Da Vinci describes it is Achilles must have gone for, like, the under the armpit grab because she says, don't pick me up like I'm a cat. So I think he just, like, lifted her like long cat. But then, hey, Blackbeard, catch the Da Vinci. And I can only assume, Da Vinci sat on his shoulders because he's fucking huge. Yeah. He doesn't ever betray us. We do have to sort out who's captain of his own boat, but that, is just
I
him
consider
being
that
weird.
fair. I think it's fair. You can only have one captain.
And and that's what he says. He's like, "Listen, master, you can't. If I can't be the captain and you can't, and you be the master at the same time. There's only one captain, so I gotta fight you." But then there's another moment, where like he would consider cutting and running, but because he has this thing going on with Achilles, he doesn't. He's like, "Nah, I'll stick it out. I'm good."
Because he enjoys hanging out with you.
Yeah,
literally.
Also, now that I think Achilles really needs like in-depth, reworking. If you've never actually like read or watched Apocrypha, Achilles might seem a little thin. He's not usually doing his best, but there's a lot of really good time with Achilles here, and I like they don't go so far as like there's a. Oh my god, chat, there is so much like, ooh, we're gonna do a modern reinterpretation of the Trojan War. Hey, y'all, did you figure out that Achilles was gay? Like, there's so much like, oh my god, I can read the Iliad differently. But like, we don't really go down that route. This just kind of like shows Achilles as he is, which is, remember that Achilles was... Yeah, a kid, basically. Odysseus picked him up when Achilles was young enough to pretend to be a girl, which obviously that disguise doesn't work very long term. And then he's away at Troy for 10 years. Like, he's, I assume, only in his, like, early to mid-20s when he's killed at the end of the war, right? So, this Achilles is, like, he's doing his being a young guy out on an adventure. Like, he has no experience with women. Like, he has no idea how to actually interact with the female servants and does not pull his punches at all. But also, he's still a hero, so he's generally a really upstanding guy. And also, he's super overpowered. He's really fast.
Speed!
So it's good to get those moments. Obviously, we've got my friendo. I mean, again, not that Mandricardo needed any extra work. Lost Belt 5 Part 1 did all the heavy lifting on that they needed, I think. But it's good to see him again. And, like, he doesn't really stop being gloomy. That's just his nature. But, like, he gets to have fun. I do want to say that we do get a couple of looks at some other characters. I think it was good to see, to actually, like, really show Canis in a different light, especially as a story character. Actually getting to unwind a little, to quote-unquote relax, but also reminding us that Canis is still just an absolute delinquent. Like, that side story where, as the quote-unquote safety officer, Canis just fights literally everyone who shows up. It's great. But there are several moments where Canis actually gets to, like, looks at a situation and is like, could get mad, and then is like, nah, fuck it, forget it. You'll notice that Summer Canis doesn't have madness enhancement anymore, so not super angry. So yeah, it's good to kind of see that as well. And does actually they do the fucking meme, and in the epilogue actually goes surfing with Mordred. I also put an explicit note here because this is just something that I was reminded of constantly through this. I do actually really appreciate the differences they show in Anastasia and Corday's, like, personalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they both start with basically the same intro, and that's the joke. But ultimately, they have very different approaches to things and different personalities, and you see that a lot throughout this, while still remaining, friends. Like, they're very friendly. Like, Anastasia tries to project a cool exterior, but on the inside, she's, really impish and mischievous. She is, in fact, the gremlin, and she's gonna go viral on Servantgram.
I enjoyed that story.
Yeah, that was a good one. Whereas, Corday tries to project this kind of, like, warmth and innocence and, big sisterly vibes, but inwardly she is also on Team Downer. Like, she's got a lot of, self-doubt and lack of assurances. And also, the fucking gags they do with her magic are great. I remember the one of the epilogue most of all, obviously, because I just did that so long ago. But like, she's just doing tricks and finally makes a dove appear, and then Yume Ren, who's been dragged out on a ladies' night, by Summer Sei, with Murasaki and Tomoe, is like, can you make Lord Zhang Yu appear? Keeping in mind that also canonically, if we take the side stories as true, she's already dug up Zhang Yu.
Literally.
Zhang Yu designed a treasure map, gave it to Yume Ren, and told her that she would find something she wanted at the end, and then buried himself so that she would find him. And she made Yanking dig the hole for her.
Well, no.
Actually, no, that's true. She enlisted Yanking for his help, but Young King insisted that she not dig the hole because that would make him feel hella awkward.
Well, also because, like, I think he said because, she's like she's like one of the 3 greatest beauties, and she should not be doing that kind of work.
Yes. So, like, that's great. I love, and I haven't finished all the postscript stories and stuff, so there might be some more cameos. Not everybody gets one, but I appreciate how many callbacks to previous summers we get. We talked about this last week that Anne and Mary are in here, up to their old tricks.
I do think...
Good?
Oh, like, speaking of Anne and Mary, like, I actually do feel kind of bad for them, because it seems like kind of like how Blackbeard kind of had, like, that singular note of he just shows up, kind of be's a creep, but then fucks off, doesn't explain anything. Like, for the first couple summers, like, that's, like, with Anne and Mary. Like, outside of Okeanos, Anne and Mary really haven't got any, like, story significance, and they're usually regulated to just being horny on main for a scene in summers, and I think that's a little sad, personally. We don't really get a lot of characterization with them.
Especially because in case you guys have forgotten, and Bonnie is voiced by Ayako Kawasumi.
Yeah.
So like I feel like they it's not like she's not around for them to have some focus. It is a little underutilized. I do like that they come back twice in this.
Mm-hmm.
But it does unfortunately basically replays a remix of the joke they were the first time, where they're like, if we win the contest, we will get exclusive master time. And Blackbeard's joking about you becoming a raisin.
Yeah, and so...
I think that thematically that has some tie-ins to how Summer Kama is, but it's still like, it's the same joke over and over again for them, which is a little sad. They don't get any zest.
Yeah. And which is weird, because we're in, like, past the golden age of piracy, and they ran with fucking Rackham, who is mentioned at the beginning of this, so it's just one of those things that
they should have more of the vibe.
Yeah.
But we got a Summer Ishtar cameo out of nowhere, with some added Jane out of nowhere as well, which was cute.
Mm-hmm.
To see Jane with a different Ishtar, but also Ishtar be Ishtar kind of a thing.
It's like it's the same person but different.
Yeah. Basically all the little treasure competitions were pretty good. Fucking Da Vinci and Canis have a race, which I'm still not sure what the fuck Da Vinci's plan was. I was waiting once again for her to just kneecap Canis. But then red hair showed up. I'm sorry, Lubu showed up. And they just decided mutually to fucking deal with his bullshittery. It's good. If they were gonna do actual like PHA's Jane, they would probably do that in a different event. Though I guess you could do that as a summer cameo, but yeah, that sounds more like a Saber Wars tie-in or something. There's a lot of these little notes. I got to see like Double X back for that one side story, stuff like that. Really good work here. I don't really have any notes about Sei Shonagon in this
I don't
event.
think you can write notes about Sei Shonagon in this. She
needs no notes. Sei was already an absolute lunatic. Like when she first showed up for Valentine's, she was Sparkling Archer. Like, she was already like that oddball, like, they're doing a very classic ensemble cast thing with her and Murasaki, right? Murasaki is literally being, the big titty goth GF energy, like she's very gloomy and sad and like, down to earth. Sei is just like fucking crazy. When she's normal, she's just all upbeat all the time. Occasionally she's got some biting zingers to throw out there.
That even is right. Sei is the manic pixie GF.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Especially the manic part of but yeah, she's really up there. Even when we meet her, like actual her in the past in Heian-kyo, like she's still like doing gremlin stuff. Like She's like, I'm retired. I get to have fun now. Summer Say is just like we said, an absolute lunatic. Her madness enhancement is only D. Fucking whatever. She's out there. She got her origin change from Space Nagon, which was great. I am kind of sad that in story they never used her second ascension. It's just her first and her third with the hammer that's shown.
I'm okay with that. I like her third the best.
I mean, that's a good one, but I do like the blonde hair look for 2 as well. But she's got a lot of different stuff going on, and just like I appreciate her, and yeah, refusing to look back on her life is good. There's a lot of that stuff like that. They use a lot of like captions and subtitles, which I appreciate. But I do also like that, like, I think I said this last week, but it's a point that carried through the whole thing, that I feel like she's a necessary character because while we can say that she's got some of that manic pixie energy, she also firmly slots into just being one of the guys, basically. Like, we have several male characters. Obviously, we've got, the actual costume trio, Mandricardo, Achilles, and Blackbeard. But, like, Mandricardo, by his very nature, is not a dude's dude. He likes to hang back. He likes to sit apart. Whereas when Blackbeard wants to go fucking drinking, like, who goes with him? It's Sei. It's Nagiko.
Yep.
And she can apparently slam him back with the best of them.
Yeah. Sei isn't necessarily concerned about being, the girly girl. She just wants to go out there and have fun.
Yeah.
With whoever. And everyone.
And, this comes back around in the epilogue, like I said, when she, runs into Murasaki and is like, hey, let's go to the beach. We're fucking free. We're great. Well, here's something I want to point out. I would like to remind everybody, because this is relevant now. Please remember that Sei Shonagon's voice actress is Ai Faruz, who is also the Japanese work for Jolene Kujo. She is a JoJo, and Jolene's delivery is completely different than Sei. Like, Jolene's register is like, down in the contralto range. She's a fucking JoJo. Whereas Sei is usually way the fuck up there. But yeah, no, like, there's a certain amount of energy. So, like, yeah, Sei's just here to have fun. She's on her ultimate vacation. So, yeah, that's why I didn't put a note in there. But this, I mean, it quote-unquote comes at the cost of this event being so dense. But there's really a lot of exploration of side characters here. I'm also really glad to see fucking Gordolf actually, like, get out there more, We've dragged him to a couple of events. He's been involved in some story, but, like, he straight up, rolls out with us in the field and is actually, like, really part of it. He is a very competent, field leader. He's got quite a lot of capabilities. He actually shows that he's really good at magic because he gets to do a lot of stuff with his alchemy and, like, cooking, medicines. At one point, he reveals that our tents are, like, insect-shielded, air-conditioned, waterproof.
Humidifier, yeah, no. Like, and he gets to talk about... I think he did a lot of those things because I think his homunculus kept asking him to, which I think is another point in his book. Even though he's supposed to be this big and in charge person, he always, just, what's the word, capitulates to his homunculi when they ask for stuff. Hell, back in, what was it? Was it Vegas? I think it was either Vegas or Luluhawa, where, we circled off. He said he was there because his homunculi were complaining about retirement, and so he decided to take them out. Yeah, it would have to have been Hawaii. Yeah. But no, it's just like one of those things. It's like he seems like he's like, I think they've always kind of planned this like characterization for him, where he just kind of shows up and acts kind of arrogant and like a prick, but he's actually a decent and caring guy who's not who's not incapable. He just has a very specific set of skills. And that set of skills is surviving.
Yeah. And like I said, like, that's the other thing is also, like, Gordolf is a guy who loves his creature comforts, right? But he's that kind of guy who, like, you tell him about your lack of creature comfort, and he doesn't go, well, that's not me, so sucks for you. He's like, what's that? You've got a rock in your shoe? You need hot water? This is incorrigible. The service here is terrible. Hot water for everybody. Like, he's just that guy.
He's also not that guy who makes other people do it. He'd be the one who'd be like, I'm going to go get the water, I'll boil it,
yes.
I'll fix
he'd use magic, but he would still do it himself, Like, he's just like, this will not stand. So we really get to show off his capabilities in the field and kind of, like, explain why the fuck I mean, I know he was goaded into it by Koenskaya, but why the fuck he thinks he could buy the Chaldea security organization, right? Like, he's basically the way I wrote this in my notes is he's basically like the mage equivalent of one of those like rich 1900s explorer/sportsman types. Like,
Yeah.
he can afford to fund fancy expeditions and like hikes and mountain climbs and buy supercars and shit, but he does it just to do it. Like, he probably raced fast cars because he wanted to and had the ability to fund it. You know, he didn't go mountain climbing just because somebody told him it would be something he needed to do. He was probably like, ooh, I want to go explore the mountains. What'll that be like, you know? And he just throws everything into it, and it's great. And
Shout
I
out to
know,
the everlasting
obviously,
summer golf punt for almost breaking that boulder.
yes, he gave it his best try. He threw out some golf punches, which I appreciate.
It cracked.
He was ready to rock. He threw out, like, what, 3 back-to-back against that boulder?
Yeah, the boulder cracked, too. It almost went
Yeah.
down.
He was trying his hardest there. And I know that he's a little bit of a coward, but that's because I think that he's been around servants long enough and heard enough stories. He understands the gap, right? That
Well, I think he's just been in enough life and death situations that he understands that, you know, discretion is the better part of valor. If you do not have to like face, you know, a death a deadly situation, don't.
Yeah. So like as opposed to, you know, this was very well illustrated in Lost Belt 6. The nature of the protagonist is to see danger, to see something that will trouble other people, and to rush towards that problem, right?
Yeah.
Gordolf would not rush towards that problem. He would do the Castoria thing, and he would see us running towards the problem, and he would be like, ah, son of a bitch. But he really also once again flexes his management skills. He does manage to, you know, deflate several conflicts, and like there are a couple of times where he actually like nuts up enough to tell off Canis and be like, hey, whoa, you can't fight. It's against the rules.
Be real? A lot of this event, I really felt like Canis was more Goldolf servants than ours.
That is honestly kind of how they've treated that relationship, right? Ever since they made that connection back in Lost Belt 5. Like, Canis is still summoned by Chaldea, and thus we are the normal master, but even in like Canis' little side story, Canis makes Gordolf their temporary master.
Yeah.
To like feed them with energy and stuff. So like there's that I feel like there's more of a business relationship of trust between Canis and Gordolf than between Canis and us. Not to say that I don't think that, especially after all the Lost Belt stuff, Canis doesn't respect the hell out of the protagonist, you know?
I mean, you can compliment her on her on their swimming suit, and she doesn't attack you like she did Napoleon.
Yes, like it's very interesting, and I kind of like how that one's rolling out. But yeah, and you know, just getting to spend so much time with everybody, so much time with Da Vinci. Again, literally having Da Vinci as a POV character. You know, every new section starts with from the Journal of Leonardo da Vinci. You know, there's a lot going on here. I feel like the only character I don't have super deep notes on is Okitan. I mean, Okitan's Okitan. She's Majin Saber. I like the addition of Rengoku.
They do have a Guda story after the epilogue, but I haven't done it yet. But I'm betting there's more characterization in there, or at least gags.
Yeah, and there is kind of an interesting moment where they cycle back. They explain in the epilogue why regular Okita was not part of the event. One of her jetpack boosters was a little low, and she had to be plugged in the whole time to recharge. But like, I do kind of appreciate seeing the like. I think this is what in the epilogue Hijikata was about to say, because he was going to remark that this Okita had there was something about her speech pattern. I assume it's that she's speaking more childishly than normal.
Oh yeah,
because regular Okita Alter is kind of as a counter guardian, is kind of a what if of like, what if Okita Soji, you know, didn't have TB and the incurable cough of death and was actually able to like grow and mature to an even higher level, which is why, you know, that Okita has even more juice in some respects. And this Okita Alter is kind of like going back possibly like even further than regular Okita in the character development to add Rengoku's body mass to the mix, and is, you know, a little more innocent. And I do kind of feel like, at least in the core story, they don't get a lot of super great moments to shine. There is that cool moment of being like, okay, I know it's in this cave. I'm going to stand here and defend this cave. I'll fight anybody. That's what I say, and just kind of like agreeing to do the thing. And I'm like, okay, that's neat to see that kind of level of characterization, but it's still, like, not a super huge focus. So I am hopeful if there is because they were one of the characters who did not in the original set of Time Gates get a side story yet. So I am hoping there'll be some more action there. No, we have not yet talked about Kama.
We probably can't fully talk about Kama because a lot of the Kama story is after the epilogue.
Yeah, like I said, I'm fairly certain I can tell where the epilogue is going because I know about people's complaints about costume dresses, and I can see that the first epilogue note has an Avenger icon, so, like, I can add. I haven't done it yet, so I can't say for sure. I do like the role Kama plays in the front half of the story. Like, as we said, like, characterization-wise, Summer Kama's great because she's going all out on the offense, but that means she has no defense and is thus very easily sidelined, very easily sidetracked, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Though she does also get some great comedy in there, like forcing you to say "I love you, Cammy" as the trigger for the contingency plan.
Listen, I'm completely biased, so unless you just want me gushing about Kama, I got really nothing to add.
I mean, we're not. Well, let me check the actual timer. We've been a little unfocused. We have almost hit 2 hours. I do want to do a welfare corner for Da Vinci. We'll save a possible Kama gush for later. We can always use more in show, so, like, we can cycle back to that. But I do like that she has kind of, her interesting role as, like, generally being helpful, but also with this edge that she's only helping you because of her own selfish reasons.
It's worse.
Mm-hmm.
She's not an antagonist, at least.
Yeah. And, she does definitely do one very positive thing, which is she apparently, by the way, I wish this was an on-camera interaction, but she apparently talked with Murasaki Shikubu about how to deal with Doman, and thus learned the evil containment wave, the Mafuba, to shove him in a pot.
Great.
So many good jokes. Can't you tell? I'm smiling inside my jar, and Kaba just makes, like, a ugh face. No, it's good. This event is written very well. I do have my complaints about, like, kind of the slow ramp to getting the engine stuff done, but there's still some good content. By the way, I know it didn't happen this year because we decided to do Lost Boat 6 Part 2. I feel very, very convinced we're going to get Summer of Ritra at this stage. Just because, one, that CE's great. Fire. But also a great little cameo in the event.
I love that she just put Mario blocks all over the place. It was so
she saw
excited.
Tomoe playing a game and like she put Mario blocks, but she put enemies in them. Oh, how many did you open? Were you disappointed? Was it an obstacle? And then all of us are just so dumb. We're like, Nagiko opened every single one.
Even Vitra was a little like, oh.
It's an extreme. That wasn't the point.
Shout out to Kama when Nagiko did the cut me free, save yourself. No hesitation, just snip. And no one, the thing I found hilarious is no one gave her that much grief about it. People were just like, man, you cold. And Kama's like, what? What? Like,
yeah,
what?
it's because it's Sei's own fault. Sei said, oh no, I'm doomed. You have to cut me loose. And obviously, yes, Kama had no hesitation, but that is technically in tandem mountain climbing. That is a thing you're supposed to do. Like, if it comes to that decision point between you both die or only one of you dies, you're supposed to be, like, psyched up to cut the rope. Or at least that's how the story goes. I don't actually know how many people are into the rope cutting, but, it's a thing. But, yeah.
But in the end, it didn't fucking matter because you just skateboard right back up.
Yeah, and we don't ask any questions. Yeah, Vitra's another character who's just very open about her kinks, but it's, like, in a funny way. Where she's just like, ooh, can I do this, like, once every day? Maybe once a week? Once a month, maybe? And we're just like, no. Stop that. Not even once a month. Come on.
I like how Achilles says he doesn't mind it, but not when they're actually trying to do something.
Yeah. I mean, Achilles is a Greek hero who's always down for competition. He wouldn't care. There's a lot of fun little moments. There was actually a little bit of lore building in this. I don't know if you probably caught it because, some Raita characters were on screen, but there's a very interesting interaction when, Ibuki drags Kintoki to the base camp, and then Shuten and Ibaraki show up, and Ibuki just straight up cannot perceive Shuten.
I do believe that is in one of her My Room lines, but yes, I'm glad they actually brought that to the front. Also, shout out to the Ibuki swimsuit foreshadowing.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good one. There's a couple of those cameos. Like, Gareth is in this a couple of times.
Looking for Mordred.
Yeah. Turns out looking to Mordred to yell at them for stealing Pridwin. But still. I also there are times when we're talking about like misunderstandings that can be kind of annoying. I do like the comical misunderstanding where Canis is just like, oh, so this Kentucky guy's bragging about all the chicks he's got, and he's just like, no, what is wrong with you? She has immense strength. I cannot escape. I'm stuck here. Are you stupid?
I think if I remember correctly, if you take out Ibuki first in that fight, Kentucky has a thing where it's like, all right, I'm free.
Yeah, he does do that, yeah. I do also like that they use his Heian-kyo costume as a substitute for a fucking swimsuit.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's loose, it's breathable. We did get a Reiko and a Suna cameo a little there, so like it's good. There's a lot of good characterization. Some of them I think will come back as summer characters, some of it won't. Though, hey, if they want to give Odysseus a summer costume, I would not say no. I like, by the way, that they played his fucking giant robot deployment NP as like an insert. They're getting better and better about those little graphical stuff. It's real good. All right, tell us, everybody, what are your favorite moments and characters in this event? Leave those comments down below. Let us know how you're feeling. And we'll probably get into some of the post game carnage, as it were, because the event won't technically be over by the time we record next week's show. So if there's anything extra to throw in or like talk about what you guys respond to, we can do that. But let's actually fire off a couple of things, and talk about some stuff here, because I got a couple more bits of business before we skedoodle on out of here. Also, yes, Doman and Chris's relationship is great. I like that we all thought Columbus would do something horrible to Steggy, but he's just like, oh my god, it's a dinosaur, it's rad!
It's rad!
Get him some grass! And Doman's like, what? And then he starts thinking about it, though, right? He's like, well, wait, I could make my Shikigami. And then it turns out, no, he didn't do that. Kama reports that he's just fucking running a lawnmower and cursing. Where's that fucking fan art?
Oh, no, people have made it. I've seen it.
Oh, I do not remember it from the time, but yeah, it's good. No.
Also, just in this event and earlier, like, this made me feel that we learned some weird with history facts. Guys, did you know that Leonardo da Vinci and fucking Christopher Columbus were only born a year apart? It feels so fucking weird to think about that.
Yeah, and I assume that's what the historical what if point of this singularity is, right?
Yeah.
Like both of them straight up say they can't be sure that was the other one in that conversation, and Gordolf is like, yeah, servant shit. I don't know if it's true, or if it's just a what if. Maybe they just happen to share their dreams with similar people, but it gives us a little bit of a moment to kind of like reiterate on our two different characters, and
also,
how
I do love the part of the where Blackbeard's all like, here, as one of the Chaldean Old Guard, I think, we don't think about summer shit or Halloween. It just happens.
Yeah, Gordolf is, I think, losing his mind at the leader Columbuses who, have leader on their talismans and say, leader! And, yeah, I love that quote from Blackbeard. Don't think about things that happen during summer or Halloween, which will be very relevant because we're also, Halloween's coming back. Oh shit, some people dug up some memes, thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to retweet some of these. And yes, I still say retweet. Oh, this person also definitely getting a retweet because they play Final Fantasy XIV. But yes, so we'll come at you with some more thoughts, but a couple of other things to hit up. Let's do Welfare Corner. Because, all of y'all can access your complete Da Vinci now. You can get all the NPs. And Summer Da Vinci's an interesting unit. So, Summer Da Vinci, she's a ruler who is lawful summer, in case you want to get any funny combos out there with alignments and stuff. For about a year, she's going to have the lowest attack and highest HP for a 4-star ruler until Io comes out, and then she becomes number 2 in both of those slots. She's the second lowest attack and second highest HP. She's quick, arts, buster, average hit counts, good NP gain, 0.67, which with 2 arts cards and a quick card, pretty good. Her NP is a little weird. So it's a single target buster. It has an overcharge effect, which amps her NP damage for 1 turn first, based on overcharge, obviously. And then, depending on which color bullet you get for which NP animation, you get a different buff randomly. You will only get 1 buff, but all of them have an equal chance of occurring. So it's like if you could flip a three-sided coin, It's not a perfect 100%, but each of them has about a 33% chance of occurring. I assume that means mathematically it's actually got to be like a 33.33% chance, but the wiki was not specific. Anyway, if she does the green bullet, your whole team gets 30 stars. If she does the blue bullet, your whole team gets 20% NP gauge. And if the red, it's 20% attack up for 3 turns. That probably, maybe if she gets added to the whatchamacallit, the evocation store.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do a rank up. I'm not gonna count on us getting a rerun after 2 years. But definitely they could add her to the evocation store, and I could see that being a rank up that comes with that release. Probably on like her first skill. Speaking of which, first skill, it's a targetable 10 to 20% up on all 3 card types. Just, projection but clickable.
Clickable.
Second skill is another targetable that's it's only 10 to 20% battery, but it's also 20 to 30% NP gain as well. So kind of like a little baby protection of the lake. And then final skill gives the whole party +1 overcharge level for 1 time for 1 turn, and 10 to 20% NP damage for 3 turns, and also gives the enemies, all of them, 10 to 20% crit chance down for 3 turns. All of these, by the way, are a 5-turn cooldown minimum, so if you get them to level 10, they're only 5 turns each. Her passives are Riding EX, so that quick card is going to fucking slap, also because she rides robot dinosaurs. She has Item Creation A, so her debuff, that crit chance down will really stick. Mostly I think it's for fluff, but she does have a debuff. And has Magic Resistance B, which is pretty normal for rulers. It's a little bit of an odd kit, and I think technically the red bullet is a little lackluster. It's only like a charisma for 3 turns. But it does actually last multiple turns, I guess, so there's a chance you could stack it. Whereas like 30 stars or 20% NP gauge for the team is pretty big. But they're universal. All of her buffs and skills are very flexible. She's got pretty good damage on a free NP5. And as a ruler, she slots into a lot of team comps just to throw some extra buffs around. I feel like she's probably going to be useful not only to close out this event, but in summer events to come as well. Just as like a good, universal weird supporter. So there's definitely, I think, some spice here. She's got a little bit of an odd kit. Also, again, I don't know if I absolutely have no idea if this is intentional, but Omega, personally would be remiss to say if I didn't say that you could interpolate this as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference. There was a couple of years ago, and it still exists, but there was a fairly popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype called Adamancipator, which was about scientists who revive ancient organisms from rocks. So they're gemstones, which become like a gemstone lion, a gemstone bird, and the biggest one is a dragon. And each of those monsters is red, blue, and green. And they come out of rocks like amber. So, like, I don't know if it's an intentional. It's just a funny coinkydink. But yeah, I think Summer Da Vinci's pretty cool. And I do like that they straight up have different animations and lines for her different NPs. Like, that's always cute when you get those in, Also, it was very funny to clown on the final boss of the mode with double Koyan mandatory Da Vinci. Blam! Big gun. But before we finish wrapping up, as we cross the 2-hour mark and the raw mission clock here, I also want to remind everybody, I don't know if I said, what was the first? I think I put the poll up. Yeah, I think I actually posted the poll after we recorded the show, but Fanservant Friday is up. The poll is out there for 5 and up patrons. You can vote on this poll now. I decided to keep, maybe some high seas and adventure type themes, so your selection is, I'm going to be bad with this, it's a Chinese name, but is it Qingshi? The very famous pirate queen of the South China Sea.
I remember this one.
Is an option. Frau Gauden Rider, one of the manifestations of the Wild Hunt. Jacques Cousteau Rider, because, the sea. But also currently in our lead with over 50% of the votes, though we've only gotten a few, so there's still plenty more people who can vote. You got time. Like I said, themes about adventure. Berserker Sir Dagonet, the Jester of Camelot, is leading, so that'll be interesting to see the follow-up. But yeah, there's some stuff out there. Also, it's not directly related to FGO or Let's Talk, but the Fail Betrayal poll for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is up as well. Finally got around to remembering to do that, so keep an eye on that. And not only is Patreon a great way to get access to polls, get access to video releases like Wanted's a little early, and stuff like that, get access to all of our audio backlog as well. It's just generally a great way to support us. If you want to make Lucky do less overtime. That's what we call in the basic callback. But I think that's everything for... it's definitely everything we got in the show notes. I think that's everything we got to talk about today.
I think so.
Chat, any last-minute shit we're forgetting? As I use you guys as my extra brain? This is where I tab over to Discord, and I'm not seeing anybody really typing. I got somebody in the end there. But nobody jumped in, so probably not... Oh, sorry, where are my headphones? Adjusting. But yeah, in that case, then it's time to wind on down and do the outro and get on out of here. No, I don't. You guys just, I give you guys the wanted, and then you roll the servants. Ooh, damn, that's a good moonerang. Alrighty, well, let's outro.
Outro.
So, hey, give this video a like on YouTube. You can leave your comments down below. What do you think of the summer event? Let us know your favorite moments. You can also join our Discord. Link in the video description and on our channel page. If you're new here and haven't already, one, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like Let's Talk FGO, What's Up, our podcast about whatever. Also, some other streams and stuff, and videos like Wanted. I think your next Wanted will be in October for the new Halloween. So keep an eye out for that one. And also make sure to ring the bell so you always know when we post a new video or when we're streaming, so you can keep up on those alerts. Though also joining our Discord, we do have an announcements channel where we yell about videos as well. You can also click that join button to join our channel memberships to get access to membership badges and emotes, such as that Tyranny one that got used earlier in Mailbag. And I already did the Patreon spiel, and usually I put that part here, but, you know, you can support us on Patreon, starting as little as $1 a month, or approximately $10 a year. And that's it for Let's Talk FGO for this week. Make sure to tune in for What's Up later today if you're watching this on the public in YouTube. And we'll see you next week for maybe some more summer stuff, and also whatever the heck happens with this Ordeal Call thing. Huzzah!
Huzzah.